Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and I want you to see this clip. This is Catherine Austin Fitts. Listen to this.
Yeah, I believe that. I'm curious. You said money's being used as a tool against us.
Yes.
Who's using the tool?
Central bankers. So we've experienced in this country, so I'll just speak as to the United States. So we've experienced since fiscal 1998 a financial coup d'etat. And as that coup d'etat has matured, a great deal of money has been stolen, literally moved out of the U.S. government and system. We have a website just dedicated to the, what I call the greatest bank robbery in the history of civilization, missingmoney.solari.com. You can go read all about it. In August 2019, the central bankers voted on something called the Going Direct Reset. They meet every year in Jackson Hole in August. They're going to meet again in August this year in Jackson Hole, and they voted for the Going Direct Reset. And that's because you've been building up liabilities in one system, moving the assets to the other.
You mean like $33 trillion in debt?
As those liabilities grow and the system becomes non-sustainable, you need to essentially consolidate and move to your net. You need to reset and move to the next system. And so the central bankers then proceeded to inject $5 trillion into the economy. If you're feeling inflation, that's why. And then during the pandemic, I'm going to grossly oversimplify, you inject money into the economy, into your friends, right? So I inject $5 trillion into my friends, and then I turn and say, oh, we have a magic virus. We have to shut down small business and farms, starve income to that sector, and which the folks with the money can come in and consolidate ownership and control of market share or assets. So
you mean like what I was told in New York this weekend by a 20-year NYPD guy, that they were injecting all these homeless people and putting all that in there to drop the property value so they could accumulate it?
We saw, 500 new billionaires created during the pandemic and over $1 trillion of wealth added to the billionaire class.
You mean like central banks accumulating gold while they get their media outlets to point at Bitcoin constantly, drum the Bitcoin narrative constantly to get the herd into Bitcoin?
It's just a result of playing that game. It's all part of the Going Direct Reset, and it's very much run top down by the central bankers, and it's consolidating ownership and control of assets. And it's not over yet.
Wow. Goldman, JP Morgan pull the alarm as yields soar. Risks are growing of sharp, impulsive, negative feedback loop. It's down here, it says there will be a financial accident. Something will break, and that will get the Fed moving. Now, this is just a thought that I had, and I'm just thinking this through. I like the things that Stephen Narioff has been putting out, but my thought is this. He said he had a map to Lubin and all these guys, or not to Lubin, but he had a map that proves all this stuff about ETHgate and all this, basically. Well, I kind of feel like it would be good for us to get some kind of screenshot, some kind of proof that there actually is what there is. Otherwise, this community could be strung along for an indefinite amount of time. What's his end game? That's the other thing I'd like to know. Are you threatening suits so that you can get people to settle with you or let you retire in style? And what does the XRP community have to gain from that? That would be a big zero. In other words, let's say you have a list of the disguised whales, which all of the inferences are that he does. If you've got that list, show it to us. Let's go ahead and expose it. What are we waiting for? Are we using that as bait? Is he trying to get some big settlement out of somebody? I don't know. But that's why I'm floating this. is because I don't think that the XRP community deserves, if that's what the end game is. I think we've worked pretty hard for all this stuff, and we're giving the guy exposure. I think he needs to show us the baby. Kevin O'Leary has shown back up. I mean, it's amazing to me. These guys, all right, I'm going to have to stop this. So I got interrupted, had a phone call, but I wanted to show this. Now, this is Kevin O'Leary. Now, remember, this was one of the biggest promoters of Sam Bankman-Fried and FTX. Probably the biggest. But now he's the one that they're having on to, I mean, they've acted like Tom Brady and those guys did something wrong. But this guy's the one that you have on to give you commentary on what's going on with Sam Bankman-Fried. It's the crazy. In fact, let me show you. This guy, just in new documents reveal that Kevin O'Leary was paid $15.7 million by failed crypto firm FTX for 20 service hours, 20 social media posts, and 50 autographs. Now, and I'm not even saying that there's anything wrong with him having received that money for promoting it. There's nothing wrong with him having promoted FTX as long as he didn't have knowledge of a fraud. I mean, but still, does that mean you would have him on as the guy to tell you about the SBF trial? He's the last guy you'd have on.
The real question about this trial is what happens next. Because if you take stock in the crypto industry today, and I think all of us should think about this, we're at the thinnest trading volumes of Bitcoin in almost a decade. There's so much institutional demand, but no buying potential yet because we're stymied in regulatory hell, and nobody is moving forward anywhere until all of these issues are put aside, as evidenced by the Gensler testimony last week, and I went to the Hill to listen to him. So we've got a long way to go, but the market's already baked in the...
And then this.
It's not going to change the way we invest, but the point was the promise of crypto still remains. It's still there.
Agree with that.
Digital payment systems, the promise of Bitcoin to restore value in itself is still there, and to retain value as a digital gold still there. Institutional interest still there. Nothing's changed because of FTX, and Binance is on its way out too. But all the crypto cowboys that were the founders of this industry, they're all going to be gone soon. The CZs and the Sam Bankman-Fried, they were great pioneers, but now they just have arrows in their backs.
They're going after CZ because he took down their precious FTX. Check this out. Financial services GOP. Without clear rules of the road, crypto market participants face substantial risks from malign actors like SBF. The Bipartisan Fit for 21st Century Act includes unprecedented consumer protections to help ensure another FTX can't happen. Well, if we have every single branch of government that is meeting and planning with FTX, anything can happen. I mean, unbelievable. Then there was this. This is freaking unbelievable, folks. I can't believe some of the things that come out of this guy's mouth. Listen to this.
The social legal systems around the world, and it'll end differently in the US versus Russia versus China versus North Korea. North Korea loves the technology, obviously,
What's
for
funny
their own
about
purposes.
He's laughing in America's face that North Korea loves Ethereum's technology and he knows this, what Ashley Prosper's saying here. Perhaps someone could try to get in touch with Virgil Griffith, who was sentenced to 5 years in prison for giving a talk in North Korea about Ethereum. Who told him to go there? Who arranged everything? I think he might have a lot to say. Stephen Narioff, do you have any insight into this? With Elbow Joe bragging about North Korea's love for crypto, maybe Virgil didn't go rogue. Maybe he's just the fall guy and it was all orchestrated by Ethereum's leaders. If so, this goes way beyond regulatory capture and touches on that word Stephen used, treasonists. Then there's this, John Deaton. He makes an excellent point here. This is a message directly to Patrick McHenry, who keeps threatening to serve subpoenas on Gary Gensler and them. Do it.
I don't know why they have this system of, well, we've never issued a subpoena to the SEC. And because the Democrats didn't do it, the Republicans are hesitant to do it. Man, screw all that. This dude is giving you the bird, man. He's giving you the middle finger is what he's doing. And he's laughing at you. And you can send
so is Joseph Lubin laughing at everyone.
Letter you want. But it is time to just call them out. What do those meeting notes say? It's called an oversight committee, and he is refusing to comply with a congressional committee that has subpoena power. So Patrick McHenry, dude, we love you, man. You're great. You're a good leader. You're a good politician, but enough of this. It is time to subpoena the man, to subpoena the SEC. It is time to do an investigation into the speech and the conflicts and the improprieties and everything else that is going on in the SEC. The public has had enough. So I implore you, sir, please, enough of the threats, follow through, issue the subpoena today.
There you go. Then we got this. Ripple, we're pleased to share that Ripple's on this year's FinTech 100 list. For our work in modernizing cross-border payments, it's an honor to share this recognition alongside other innovators, incorporating tech into the world of finance. We love it. Digital Pound Foundation, the National Bank of Georgia, has recently named Ripple Labs as potential tech collaborators for its impending CBDC pilot project, Digital Gel. Game on, folks. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and tell your friends and family that Ripple looks like is working on the Digital Gel project. Thanks for listening.